As a parent, watching your once full of life teenager transform into something withdrawn, constantly overwhelmed, and struggling with anxiety or depression can be heart wrenching. You've likely consulted various healthcare professionals, tried different approaches, and perhaps even considered medication. Yet your teen continues to struggle. What if I told you that the root cause might not be the chemical imbalance that most conventional doctors continue to blame these rapidly exploding teen challenges on? The United States is facing an unprecedented mental health crisis among adolescents. According to recent CDC data, 44% of American high school students report persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness. Even more alarmingly, they're early in one in three teenagers, girls, let me say, remember, write that back. Even more alarmingly, nearly one in three teenage girls report having seriously contemplated suicide, twice the rate of boys. While traditional medicine typically addresses these challenges with medications aimed at correcting presumed chemical imbalances, many parents find these approaches merely mask the symptoms rather than address the underlying causes. What if I told you there was a different perspective? One that explored the neurological roots of your teen's anxiety and depression and offered a drug free option instead of just more and more medication. This video is for parents who are exhausted and heartbroken watching their teenagers struggle with anxiety and depression, especially those who've tried conventional approaches without seeing lasting improvement. And who are searching for answers that address root causes rather than just using medication or even supplements to try and cover up symptoms. We're going to explore how your teen's anxiety and depression may be connected to neurological imbalances, specifically dysautonomia, subluxation, and vagus nerve dysfunction. We learn why the traditional chemical imbalance model falls short, how modern lifestyle creates a perfect storm of nervous system stress, and more importantly, how neurologically focused chiropractic care can help restore balance and proper function naturally. The prevalence of mental health issues among youth has approximately doubled from 2011 to 2020. What's particularly interesting is that during the same period, we've seen some positive trends for young people, including reduced alcohol consumption and fewer teen pregnancies. Yet anxiety and depression have continued to surge across all demographics. When we look at the statistics more closely, female adolescents are more than twice as likely as males to experience anxiety, 31% versus 12%, and depression, 25% to 10%. These aren't just numbers, they represent real teenagers who are suffering, families who are struggling to help them, and a generation whose mental well-being is at stake. Many researchers have noted that the sharp rise in teen mental health issues coincide with the widespread adoption of smartphones around 2012, pointing to digital technology as a significant factor. But as we'll explain, the full picture is much more complex and begins much earlier in life. So let's talk about understanding teen anxiety and depression from a neurological perspective. Conventional medicine typically views anxiety and depression as a chemical imbalance in the brain that needs to be corrected with medication, but the model misses the deeper neurological foundations. From a neurological perspective, these conditions are often connected to imbalances in the autonomic nervous system, specifically between the sympathetic fight or flight responses and the parasympathetic rest and digest functions. These neurological imbalances called dysautonomia represent a crucial but often overlooked root cause that can leave teens stuck in a persistent state of stress and emotional dysregulation. So let's talk about the critical role of the vagus nerve in emotional regulation. The vagus nerve is the primary component of the parasympathetic nervous system and plays a crucial role in emotional regulation, stress recovery, and social connections. This wandering nerve connects the brain to vital organs and helps regulate heart rate, breathing, digestion, inflammation, and emotional states. Research shows that lower vagal tone is significantly linked to challenges in managing emotions and heightened sense to stress, exactly what we see in teens with anxiety and depression. When vagus nerve function is compromised due to subluxation and nervous system stress, it affects your teen's ability to calm themselves, process emotions, and maintain balanced mood states. So, all this creates what we call the perfect storm, leading to teen mental health issues. So, this neurological dysfunction often begins before birth, with maternal stress during pregnancy, affecting the developing fetal nervous system through stress hormones that cross the placental barrier. Birth interventions like forceps deliveries or C-sections can cause several injuries to the upper neck and brainstem region, potentially affecting the vagus nerve and leading to subluxations. Early childhood factors continue building the foundation for later challenges, including repeated infections, frequent antibiotic use, disrupting the gut-brain axis, environmental toxins, and physical injuries. Modern lifestyles factors significantly amplify these neurological imbalances, including digital technology, sleep disruptions, decreased physical activity, and poor nutrition, affecting the gut microbiome and vagal function. So, let's say help you recognize the signs of nervous system dysfunction in your teens. So, physical signs like sleep disturbances, appetite changes, digestive issues, continually getting sick, fatigue and exhaustion, and restlessness often reflect underlying neurological imbalance. Emotional indicators such as persistent sadness, excessive worry, irritability, and loss of interest stem from an autonomic nervous system stuck in sympathetic dominance. And behavioral changes include social withdrawal, declining academic performance, and increased sensitivity to criticism, frequently signal nervous system dysregulation, rather than just typical teen behavior. And finally, here's how we truly find the root cause: the nervous system imbalance, dysregulation, and dysautonomia. At Vanella Chiropractic, we use advanced insight scanning technology to directly measure nervous system function and identify specific areas of dysregulation and dysautonomia, with HRV being the most important scans for anxiety and depression. So, this image here is a HRV test, 3 of them, going from left to right, left being the earliest. And what we're looking at is the white box. You want to be in the green box. When you're in the green box, you have enough resources to handle life stressors. But the farther you down, the harder it is to handle stress, and you need to pull from other systems: immunity, hormonal, digestion, cardiac, all that kind of stuff, and brings up other systems. So then you end up being easier to have emotional outbursts, and they also last longer. Problems sleeping, digestion, again, getting sick, they all happen easier and they last longer the farther that white box goes down. As you see with neurologically focused chiropractic care, you can see that we're able to build the resources back up, and you can see that white box moving slowly back up into the green box, which shows they have enough resources to handle life stress and allow the problems we talked about disappear. So based on these assessments, we develop personalized care plans, including specialized adjustments designed to release excessive sympathetic fight or flight activity while stimulating the nervous system and parasympathetic function. By addressing these neurological imbalances, we help restore proper communication pathways between the brain and body, creating the psychological and physiological foundation for improved emotional health and mood regulation. So simply put, it's not easy being a teen in today's crazy world. Thankfully, they have a remarkable ability to bounce back and become resilient, adaptable, and joyful once again. The teen brain and nervous system is going through so many changes and challenges all at once. And once we get the stuck sympathetic stress, tension, subluxation, and exhaustion out of the way for them, it's programmed for healing and recovery. And that's the good news. Vanella Chiropractic, we've helped so many kids and teens struggling with anxiety and depression thrive once again, all without dangerous drugs and medication. Not because we treat or cure anxiety, depression, or mental health challenges, but because we address the foundational root causes: nervous system stress, dysregulation, and imbalance. Parents often tell us that they feel renewed hope after learning about their nervous system focused and drug free approach to healing. They're relieved to discover that there is a different path that they can take, one that doesn't rely on potentially dangerous medications with long term side effects, but instead focuses on restoring proper function to the systems that naturally regulate mood, stress, and emotional well being. If your teen is struggling with anxiety or depression, it's likely their nervous system is imbalanced and dysregulated, and it's time to find out. Click the link in our bio to find out more.